Hey everybody, welcome to what?
Still waiting for me to look at you.
Maybe we should do both. Turn it off. Turn it off.
No, keep going.
Wait,
Keep it fucking going.
You're making me keep this?
Yes,
You're
keep it
making me
going.
keep this.
Keep it
Okay.
going.
Welcome to Issue Crew Movie Reviews, everybody. I'm Riely, your host, the man, the myth, the legend. Of course, joined by a special guest. I believe these will be her third and fourth appearances on the channel, what we plan to record this week.
This is my first time doing movie
This
reviews.
is your first time on movie as well. Alex Colochu.
Is that your intro?
Yes. How'd you like it? Were you a fan?
I was expecting something like, welcome to Issue Movie Reviews.
Issue Crew Movie Reviews. I'm your host. Hey, everybody.
By the way, just gonna put this out there. If you hit that fucking table, that camera's gone.
I know.
Be very careful.
Do I still
if
look
I hit
normal?
this,
I just adjusted my positioning.
you're perfect.
Okay. You said that too quickly. But
Well, no, because I can look and see, and this is exactly what I was hoping for. So we're fine.
okay, so Ghostbusters.
The original 1980s,
1980s Ghostbusters.
not the woman.
Not 2016. 2016 is pretty good though.
I'm not gonna watch the woman one.
Have you never watched it before?
No, because they ruined Ghostbusters.
So I'd never seen the original. I think as a kid I had Ghostbusters 2 on VHS, but it was one of those movies that I probably only watched once while I was
Yeah, but
very
Ghostbusters
tired.
2 is terrible.
I've heard also that that's true, but I literally remember nothing about it, and I never watched the first
That's
one.
fine. You don't need to remember anything about it. It's not a big deal.
I never watched the first one, so until last night when Alex showed it to me, although I probably missed some of it, because we watched it at like 8 o'clock at night after I'd been up since 2:30 a.m., so I was kind of flashing in and out at the end there.
Yeah, but it was a good way to end the night. Obviously, whenever you travel, I guess you didn't say this. Riley's here in studio with us.
Oh, yeah.
We're both in the same room for the first time.
It's not obvious because the cameras are different, but yes, we are in the same room
I will.
for the first time. We met yesterday in real life for the first time.
There. That proves that you were here. That proves that's going to be on the internet. That proves that you were in the same room.
There we go. There we go. So, because you're the nerd, you know how to describe what happens in Ghostbusters. The format of this show,
Yeah, I've never been here, so.
very simple. We go into it with the philosophy that everybody who's listening has either already seen the movie or doesn't care to and just wants to hear the podcast. So for the people who don't care to, just like a one paragraph, quick and dirty plot summary for Ghostbusters, just like a general what's going on.
I'm really bad at summing things up. Fuck.
Because I was so tired when I watched it, I feel like I'm going to kind of like stumble over details and it's going to make me sound retarded.
3 guys who work at a university who are all basically like psychology majors and psychiatry. They have an interest in the paranormal and do research in paranormal.
Yeah.
They get kicked out of the university and the university stops funding them, so they're like, fuck it, let's go hunt some ghosts. So they start their business. It's a slow thing, but things ramp up quickly when people are like, oh shit, they're actually catching ghosts.
Holy shit, there's actually ghosts. The
There's
Ghostbusters
actually
are
ghosts.
proficient at catching
So
them.
things ramp up in New York City. They get a lot of business. They're running 24-hour days. And there is one person whose
Whose fridge is a portal to hell.
portal to another dimension. It's not hell.
So the hell-esque dimension of sorts.
And there's a entity or demon named Zool who is trying to summon Gozer, who is Gozer the Destructor. Things continue. They keep catching ghosts, and things ramp up. Gozer's demon dogs possess this woman and another man, the keymaster and the gatekeeper. It's not said, but I'm pretty sure in order for you to put the key in the lock, you gotta put the you gotta you gotta fuck. So that's assumed what they do.
Oh yeah, because Zool tries to fuck Venkman while she's possessing.
Yeah, because he said he was the keymaster.
Yeah.
He's got the key, and she's the gatekeeper.
The whole time, I was having a hard time grasping that concept up until they handed it to me.
Until they were like, yeah, let's fuck.
No, not that, but until it was like the gatekeeper. Even that, it kind of flew over my head. I thought the gatekeeper was just referring to whoever was keeping the ghost locked up, and they didn't know who that was.
Okay.
So I thought they were like, are you the gatekeeper, as in, are you the guy who captured all of my ghost friends, and now they're in jail? But that's not what it was, as it turns out.
So they get together, they unlock the gate, the Ghostbusters go up to the apartment complex, big ass skyscraper building. They encounter Gozer, and then Gozer, I believe the one lady is Gozer, and then she disappears. And the Ghostbusters are told, choose the new form of the Destructor. Destructor.
The Destructor.
And everybody's like, clear your minds, don't think of anything, don't fuck this up. And the one guy thinks of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, because he's got nostalgia for it and thought that it wouldn't be very terrifying.
It's so hard to remember the name, because I guess Venkman I do remember. It's really just Dan Aykroyd's character, who I can only think of him as Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah. But
it's kind of hard to think of Venkman as not Bill Murray either, but at least Venkman was a memorable enough name that I'm like, yeah, that's Venkman.
Yeah.
The other actor I don't know, so Egon I can remember pretty well. And then there's the black guy who said 3 words in the whole movie.
Yeah. He does come back for the kids one though.
Oh shit, does he?
I believe it's him and Bill Murray, because Dan Aykroyd is dead, I'm pretty sure.
No, the one who played Egon is dead.
Dan Aykroyd is dead.
No, he's not.
I'm almost positive he is.
Unless he died recently.
No, I'm pretty sure Dan Aykroyd is dead.
It's Egon that's dead.
How'd you look that up so fast?
No, I know that Egon's dead, and I know that Dan Aykroyd's not fucking dead. Okay, his Wikipedia says is and not was. So yeah, he's alive. It's Egon that's dead. Egon... actor.
I guess he's still alive. I thought he died.
Yep, and Harold Ramis, who played Egon, died in 2014.
Anyway, so they choose the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Dude starts stomping through town, and then they decide to, or not decide to, but they take him down, and that's everything boiled down.
There we go. That's good. I'm sorry if I'm bothering the audience with having autism about my mic. Does everything look fine right now? Camera and mic volume? Okay, so I'll try to fucking stay still and not be weird. But
would it help if I put it up on the monitor?
No, that would honestly probably make me more neurotic. So that's
why
better.
I moved it to the monitor. You cannot see.
Yeah, but that makes it worse, because then I'm like, I don't think the mic is the right place. So then I'm moving it. I'm like, oh, is it covering my mouth now?
It's not even covering your face at all.
Okay.
Let's put it that way.
Okay.
So it's like this to you.
Yes.
On there.
Okay. So I know.
This is the first video that we've done while being in the same room. It took us an hour and a half to set this shit up.
In all my years of podcasting, the only time I've done a podcast in the same room as someone else is we're both recording on the same cell phone. I've never done anything like this. This is my first time recording a podcast on a real microphone.
I guess Podfest with Gingy back in, 2018?
Yeah, we recorded on a fucking cell phone.
Yeah, but technically you weren't in the same room.
No. The first podcast we recorded, we were in the same room, and we just put the phone in the center of us, and then we sounded like absolute dog shit. So for every other recording, we did it. We did it I did it in the bathtub, and he did it.
By the way, I'm not going to be anal about this. The room is going to stay like this for the weekend.
Okay, good.
I'm not setting this shit up again.
No, no, no.
This took a whole ass hour to get this You can't tell. You have no idea, you people listening, and we'll probably complain about it a lot more over on our other podcast, Detour Ahead.
Yeah, that's the venue for it.
Ghostbusters. So you've seen the 2016 Woman one.
Yes.
What did you think of the original that it was based off of?
Much better than the girl one. Because I didn't have a nostalgic attachment to the original, I thought the girl one was kind of just like fun. Like it wasn't groundbreaking. I probably wouldn't give it any more than a 6 or 7, but like I had fun watching it. This movie, on the other hand, was genuinely great. I think the acting was on a higher caliber. I think just like the movie felt more creative and inspired, and I think that it was just a fun movie that was like well acted and well executed.
I have a lot of nostalgia for this movie just because the actors are great. I gotta stop leaning down.
Yeah.
I gotta make eye contact.
I feel like I gotta lean a little bit, or I'm too far from the mic if I like lean back.
But this movie I was shown as a kid. Everybody's seen Ghostbusters, which is why I was very surprised yesterday to find out that Riely has not seen the original Ghostbusters. So I made him watch it.
True.
The acting is on point. You can tell almost immediately from the beginning of the movie, all of the personalities of everybody involved. You can tell that Bill Murray is not really taking everything seriously.
Yeah, it's so funny because the opening scene where he's like trying to pick up a chick by convincing her she's telepathic.
Yeah, so the opening scene
good.
with Bill Murray is there's a guy and a girl, and they're at the university doing like one of those paid studies.
Mm.
And Bill Murray would hold up a card that had like a symbol, a shape, or something on it, and he would ask both of them what the shape would be without showing them. The guy got it wrong every single time, and even when he got it right, he would still get an electric shock.
Yeah,
the girl
Bill Murray would say
got it wrong every single time, no chance, not even close, and he would just go,
"Yeah, you got it.
Wow, that's impressive. I didn't think you'd actually get that." So the guy gets pissed off and leaves. And Bill Murray's trying to pick up the college girl, and then his friends come in and kind of ruin it for him. But like you can tell, he's immediately like he's trying to always pick up chicks throughout the movie. It's the entire thing.
It's very fun.
You can tell.
I'm surprised he refused the ghost pussy. Honestly, that was not a move I was expecting from his character.
He has a rule against people being possessed.
And then she got on top of him, and he was immediately like, "It's more like a guideline." So I thought that he was gonna fucking blow it off, but he ended up not doing it.
And then the next character, Egon, is the one who takes his job very seriously. You can tell he's all about business. He knows he's very smart. He's like the nerd of the group.
Mm-hmm.
What is the fourth? What is the third? The other white guy.
I keep thinking it's Murphy, but that's because Eddie Murphy was supposed to be the guy. Oh, you're thinking of Dan. Okay, not the black guy.
Ray Stans. That's it.
Ray.
So we have Egon. He's the smart one. You can tell almost immediately from
you
the
can tell
glasses.
because his name's fucking Egon. It's the most like mad scientist name.
Yeah,
in the
but
history
you
of the
can tell
world.
he's like the perpetrator of all this. He's probably the one who got all of them into ghost like paranormal shit in the first place.
It almost seemed like at the beginning the movie kind of shifts in who I feel like is the most invested in the Ghostbusters, because during the opening scenes it feels like it's Ray, but then Ray's kind of like pissed off after they get kicked out of the school, and like he doesn't really seem
because
to care
if you
anymore.
noticed for the one scene where they were trying to start their business, they made him take a mortgage.
Yeah, they made him take a mortgage out of his house,
a third mortgage on his house to start this business. And he was not very happy about it.
No. He was pretty pissed. But then they became big celebrities.
I wonder if you plug headphones into your microphone in the back.
If I plug a headphones in?
We'll try that later.
Okay.
Because this has an aux cord, so I want to see if that actually picks up your audio. But that's a later thing.
Oh, so we can have headsets on and hear each other?
Possibly.
Okay.
I don't know if we'll hear each other, but well, it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. We only need the headsets. All right. Ghostbusters.
Yeah, we're gonna stream video games at some point, but that's something we will discuss off air. Both Ghostbusters.
Ray, you can tell, is kind of like the comedic relief character. Yeah. The one who kind of makes jokes, but he's not. He's like the third most important person. Clearly, Bill Murray is the main character. He's the number one who started this.
The thing about Dan Aykroyd is he's so schizophrenic. I believe there's some truth to what JonTron said in his video about the Dan Aykroyd Crystal Skull vodka, where it's like Dan Aykroyd wasn't acting. He thought he was actually busting ghosts. Like Dan Aykroyd's so insane that like there was probably some amount of reality to what he was doing.
And then we have the black guy. What's his name?
It's not
Harold?
Murphy.
It's not Murphy. So with this, I'm pretty sure a lot of people know, but the reason the black Ghostbuster has very little lines is because they wanted Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy was not able to do it. Whether he turned it down or not, I'm not exactly sure. But Eddie Murphy didn't do the movie, so they brought somebody else in. Well, Bill Murray didn't like this guy, so they cut almost all of his lines. They had an entire script for Eddie Murphy, and they cut probably 90% of it.
The character's name is Winston.
Winston, yeah. So they cut 90% of his lines, which is why he seems like he's just kind of oddly inserted into the movie.
Is Overwatch racist? Where'd they get the name Winston from, huh? For the gorilla character? I don't know.
No, Winston's a white
Does
person
is
name.
Blizzard is racist?
Everybody knows Blizzard is racist.
That's true. That's fair.
That's why they don't make any money anymore.
Well, they renamed McCree after the fucking issue. They should rename Winston too. They're like, yeah, we named him after the Black Ghostbuster. We were being racist.
We want to be a little
that.
bit more up with the times. His name's Jamal now. There's also an option I can just mute the mic if you want to start yelling as well.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah.
You have a little button that you can do as well. So
I see the button. Yeah.
So that's also an option if you don't want crossfade, but I think we can solve that.
I think we're good.
So yeah, those are the characters. Overall, it's a classic. It's a fully original movie. Back in 1980, there was nothing else like that. A lot of it was just like you have your typical paranormal ghost movies and your zombie movies back in the 80s. But you never had anything. There's never been anything much like the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it's definitely something special.
Stop.
I know.
Just don't touch it. Just don't touch it. Just don't touch it. You're fine.
Okay.
I haven't looked over there in a while.
I'm so scared about the audio because I'm like on this little side profile.
It's not that big of a deal. You can also rotate it.
Holy shit.
That mic was my best friend for multiple years. That was the first.
Am I too louder than you now, though?
No, we're equal.
Okay. But now that it's facing me instead of on the side.
It's not going to change.
Okay.
That's why I got a new microphone. Okay. I didn't like that one. But I kept it around because I knew this was happening.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The autism is strong with this one.
I'm aware. But like, there's never been another movie much quite like Ghostbusters, and I really think that Ghostbusters really spurned this whole movement of really good movies regarding like. I think after Ghostbusters, the movie quality for horror, like not even just like horror movies, just like movies similar to that regarding ghosts really flew off the shelves.
This almost had like more horror movie vibes than I was expecting it to have.
Like, but it's like the perfect amount of horror and comedic relief.
Because it's like...
While also still telling a coherent story.
I'm so used to like... I've seen silly horror movies, but they're usually like the 7th one in like a series of slashers. Like you establish the character and you establish like a serious reason why you should be afraid of them, and then a few movies in it just gets stupid either via other factors or via the villain getting goofy. I've never seen it right from jump, so it's kind of a weird experience to still try to pull the horror stuff in, but for it to be so like silly as well.
And the fact that Ghostbusters...
It's such a comedic... And they're all comedic actors, too, is the thing.
Oh, absolutely. That's what makes it such a good movie, is it's not 100% serious. They're guys who quit their job at a university, who got fired from the university, and they're like, fuck it, let's go hunt ghosts.
It almost feels like much better executed, but to make a comparison, it almost feels like parody movie, like a scary movie type thing. Like Scary Movie or Superhero Movie, those movies where it's like a parody of horror movies, but it's a lot better executed.
So comparatively, I think you already kind of touched on this a little bit, but comparatively, the original to what the 2016 remake was. The 2016 remake was based off the original one. There was nothing for almost like 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
How well do they hold up to the essence of what a Ghostbuster is?
I think it's definitely cheap. I could see how people who were like invested in Ghostbusters, like if you were waiting for Ghostbusters 2016 for 30 years and then you watched it, I can understand why you're like, that fucking sucks. But having seen it first, it's just like, it's a fun movie. It's just kind of like a cheap... I like cheap knockoff movies. I can enjoy them for what they are. It's like a cheap knockoff movie of Ghostbusters.
Okay. Do you think you would watch... Had you seen original Ghostbusters, do you think you would see 2016 Ghostbusters in a different light?
Yeah, I would probably hate it.
You now understand why people were so up in arms about them remaking them.
Yes,
this way.
100%. I totally get it. As somebody who saw 2016 first, that was the move. Maybe Maddox was right. Seeing the shitty sequel first really makes it less shitty because I can enjoy...
Because that's your first interaction with it.
So,
usually the first interaction with something is the best. The perfect example of that is, Smooth Criminal by Michael Jackson? Yeah. The first interaction I ever had with Smooth Criminal.
The Alien Ant Farm version?
Yes.
Let's go!
That's what I first heard Smooth Criminal as. And when I heard Michael Jackson's, the original, I'm like, this kind of sucks. Like, it's a bop, but it's not as good as
to it.
What
the first time I heard it, I was like, what the fuck is this? But I've gotten used to it.
I've gotten used to it as well. And it takes time to get used to things. But, like... You see what I mean by, like, I think he was right. You do have to watch the shitty version first. But not a lot of people are able to do that. Like, especially if you were born in the 70s and Ghostbusters comes out in the 80s, you're just like, what the fuck is Ghostbusters? Let's go see that. It's one of the most popular movies out there, and it's one of the most well-known. The funny part is we probably could have brought my dad in on this to have a whole conversation with him about the Ghostbusters movie.
That would have been hilarious.
I don't have an additional desk and camera for this shit.
Does he hate Ghostbusters too?
No, he never saw it.
Oh, okay.
But he saw original Ghostbusters. He's the one who showed me Ghostbusters in the first place. Same with Blues Brothers with Dan Aykroyd and...
Oh, Dan Aykroyd's in that.
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd is in Blues Brothers.
I only know the Drake and Josh episode. I've never seen the actual show.
It's Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi.
That's the only time Josh Peck sings in Drake and Josh, as he joins in on Soul Man. He only sings the chorus. He's doing his silly voice. He's like, Soul Man.
See, the really unfortunate thing is they don't sing Soul Man in the movie.
What? Yeah, that's why the Drake and Josh version is better, because they get in the Blues Brothers costume and they sing the song.
But that's what the Blues Brothers were known for, is Soul Man. It's more of a movie to just put out their other music as well. I'm really into movies where they have a lot of music. Step Brothers?
No.
You've never seen Step Brothers?
I've heard of a movie called Step Brothers. I don't remember exactly what it is, and I don't think I've ever seen it.
Okay, we're just going to go back to Ghostbusters. This is turning into Detour Ahead. Maybe I should take this down.
No. You can leave it up.
So we're not going on detours.
We could go on detours on this show. That's fine.
By the way, this is a real metallic sign that was definitely not stolen Definitely not stolen off the road.
Definitely not stolen.
I bought it online. It's not stolen at all. Go check out Detour Ahead over on the Colochu YouTube channel. And
you can buy one too at stolenstreetsignblackmarket.com.
I really thought about taking this to one of the job sites on a day and be like, look, they're like, what the fuck are you doing? Be like, I need to dirty it up. It's too new. I thought about taking it out there and just leaving it out in the weather for a bit, but I didn't want it to get stolen. So,
oh yeah, that would be tragic.
Bend a couple of these, make it look like it's been out there for 20 years. But I'm like, no, a new one looks good. I'm very happy that I have that. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's good.
But Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
Now that you've seen the original and you have some sort of connection to the original Ghostbusters, does that make you want to watch the new one with the kids?
I think so, because the original's kind of... I always like stories where the characters get old and they have kids, and seeing how like the older version interacts with their kids and how that leads to their kids going through similar development that they went through.
I'm not sure it's their kids.
I think it is.
Is it their kids?
No,
or
it's
like
Egon's
grandkids?
kids, I believe. And so you know, old Uncle Venkman and Uncle Ray.
Is Ray in the new movie?
I think so.
Because I know Bill Murray is, and I know Winston is. I don't know the actor's name, but
Neither do I. I had it up, but I don't want to pull it
the
back
black
up.
man. Is that a little too off color for you?
I think so.
Is that a little too colored
We could
for
say
you?
not Eddie Murphy. That's a better
Well,
terminology, I
that
think.
narrows it down to two other people. Anyway. But like, do you have a want? Like, did you prior to seeing the prior to seeing original Ghostbusters, did you have a want to see the remakes?
Maybe a little bit, only because I respect Finn Wolfhard as an actor, but I was not super interested enough that I was pursuing it in any way.
Has that changed now that you've seen the original?
I'll probably watch them.
Okay. I don't know how long you go for with this shit, by the way.
Usually like an hour.
An hour?
We try to hit an hour. 30 minutes is also acceptable, but
Okay. I don't know how you guys. I'm asking you questions.
Solid 45 minutes, hour. Sometimes we go farther depending on the movie.
Okay. I've never done this, so
Yeah, you know,
I need to break out of the Detour Ahead.
Yeah, it's like a
thing.
you can detour ahead a little bit. It's like a topic on Detour Ahead, but the topic's the movie.
Yeah.
Slimer. I finally got to see Slimer.
Oh shit!
in
Yeah.
action.
What did you think of the go? Okay. I now have multiple questions. To
There we
ask.
go. There we go. Now we got content.
We have content. Let's talk about the ghosts.
Okay.
Oh, I felt like Joe Rogan for a second. Let's talk about the ghosts.
Jamie, pull that up. I'm a Kermit the Frog. Jamie, pull up the ghosts.
Let's talk about the ghosts real quick. Have you heard about this?
No, Joe, I haven't heard about it. Tell me about it, Joe. This is a joke. It's me, Jerry Seinfeld, of the Joe Rogan Experience.
Anyway, let's talk about the ghosts.
What's the deal with
just
ghosts?
the ghosts. I want to
Okay.
talk about just the ghosts. I don't want to talk about Gozer and Zool and them. I'll get to that in a minute. That's a follow-up question.
Okay.
The ghosts. What did you think about the ghosts? So we have the library ghost. We have Slimer, who is very gluttonous. We saw after the EPA retard shuts their whole system down, because I forgot to mention that.
Yeah. Oh, the EPA guy. That was funny.
The EPA guy,
their whole
fantastic actor.
Their whole rivalry with the EPA guy was beautiful. That was a great part of the movie.
The EPA guy shuts their ghost storage system down.
Venkman being like,
ghosts.
I'm gonna miss that guy, you know.
And all the ghosts get set free. So we see Slimer come back. We see a blue skeleton ghost. Did you catch that part coming out of the sewer?
Oh yes, I do remember that now.
The really skinny one with the big hands.
Yeah, that was cool.
Very angular guy.
Yeah, the ghosts who were people were kind of just like any ghost you would see in any movie.
Yeah.
But stuff like Slimer and the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
So what did you think about the ghosts? We're gonna avoid Zool and that for.
Oh,
right
okay.
now.
Well, I guess those are different then. Yeah.
Because they're not really ghosts. They're kind of demons.
When it comes to the ghosts, I think Slimer was definitely the most inspired. The skeleton was pretty cool too. The human ones were just regular ghosts. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I don't think it's not like every ghost was this like crazy creative design. But they were good. They worked.
It was subtle but very creative. It wasn't like they went all out on the ghosts. It's just, yeah, it's a fucking ghost. We're gonna hunt them.
We got Slimer, who became an iconic figure. Doesn't Slimer become their friend in like the cartoon?
I have no idea. I forgot that they made a whole.
They have a couple cartoons, I think, and like Slimer became such a popular like icon that I think they made Slimer their friend in the cartoon. Like he just hangs out.
Are you good on Diet Coke?
He's a ghost stranger. I mean, I'm empty, but I'm good until the recording is over. I don't need more.
We're at 30.
You said you had more questions, didn't you?
Yeah, I have one more question. I was gonna pause and go grab one if you wanted it.
I mean, yeah, fuck, I'll take it.
All right. Okay, we're fine. We're good. I was looking at the wrong one. So, you know, on OBS, you have the grayed out numbers that is for live chat, for recording live, and then you have recording on the other side. I was looking at that, and it was blanked out for the live, and I was like, oh, God. Did I just fuck this up? I can't do this again.
Did I do the break? Did I break it?
So, the ghosts. You thought, like, really creative designs, though.
Yeah.
They each had their own they incorporated personalities into the designs. You can tell exactly what the ghosts are all about.
Yeah.
The fat fuck Slimer who's all green, you can tell he's depicted when he shows up, he's eating just nonstop.
Oh, yeah.
Go, yeah, he's fat and like he eats a lot. Like
Slimer's
you can tell
just
immediately.
Like me. He just like me for real.
He's just like me for real. So let's get on to the main antagonist of the movie. Zool and Gozer, and the other one that I don't know. So.
Oh, you're passing it to me?
Yeah, I'm passing it to you.
I mean, yeah, there's Zool, and then there's the Keymaster, whatever the fuck he's actually called.
Zool is the gatekeeper. The Keymaster was named something else.
And they possess the hot chick that Venkman's trying to fuck, and the nerd that's also trying to fuck that chick and failing horribly. And then they go on some misadventures separate from each other, and then they finally come together, and they spirit meld or whatever, and they bring the Destroyer to life. What was the Destroyer called? Gozer.
Like Dozer, but Gozer.
And originally the Destroyer possesses the Secretary, right? Is that the Destroyer, or is that Zool?
It's not the Secretary. It's just the person they used.
Oh, is it not? They're just separate characters? I figured it possessed the Secretary because they used the same actor.
I don't think they used the same actress.
She looked very similar.
No, they used someone else.
Great movie about garbage men. This movie was.
Fucking garbage men. Oh, they're not fucking garbage men.
They dress like garbage men.
Yeah, I can see how someone hopped up on all of the drugs in the world can understand.
Can think they're garbage men.
They're garbage men. Yeah. Yeah. If you take enough drugs, everybody looks like garbage men. Especially if you're wearing the garbage man suit that says Ghostbuster on it.
Ghostbuster.
What'd you think of the antagonist? What'd you think of like the climax of the movie?
It was pretty intense. I think I might have fallen asleep during parts of it, unfortunately, but
you were awake for like the closer to the end.
They were in the gates of the Terror Dimension or whatever. Gozer. And then Gozer turns into the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man because Ray fucked up.
I will say, now in the 2016, did they say anything about don't cross the streams or anything like that?
It's been way too long. I saw that in theaters, my guy.
Okay. So we're watching the movie, and Riely, they bring out the ghost capture devices that shoot the streams out and capture the ghosts. Riely goes, "Oh, I can already tell they're going to have to cross the streams later in the movie." And I'm like, how the fuck do you know this? They haven't even said don't Don't Cross the Streams at all. They didn't even say that.
No,
in
it was
the movie.
after Don't Cross the Streams.
No, it was before.
No, it was after. I remember them saying Don't Cross the Streams.
No, but
Very
you
early in the
said
movie. No. This was after they said that.
they said it after they after the ballroom.
Yeah, and it was after that I said this.
No, you said it before. That's why I'm bringing this
No,
up.
I said it at the end. Like, the movie was about to end. Like, fucking Zool was up there, and they're about to, like, go kick ass. And I was like, I already know how this ends.
You must be high as shit, because I don't remember.
You're
that.
wrong. You are wrong. I remember exactly when I said this shit. Okay? I'm not stupid. I know. Because I had already heard them have the conversation where it's like, don't cross the streams, because then existence as you know it will be erased, or whatever the fuck. And then the movie's about to end, and I'm like, okay, I actually know how this ends, because I've seen it before. They have to cross the streams, actually, even though they thought they didn't have to, or they couldn't.
I muted just in case you wanted to get loud, because I was gonna call you a retard. Get you hyped. Your muscles start tensing. You're like, no,
That's not true. No.
But like overall, it's a really solid movie,
Yeah.
especially for being before both of our times. It really still holds up as a really good movie to watch.
That's true. I didn't think about that. It's also before your time.
It's 30 years old. I don't know when did it come out. I know it's in the 80s. It's an 80s movie.
I think even early 80s.
1984.
Yeah, because Ghostbusters 2 was also the 80s, so had to be early 80s.
Yeah. Do you have any... I have a follow-up question to this,
What's
just in
up?
case you don't cover it. What do you think of do you have any criticisms about the movie? We've spoke nothing but praise. I think we should at least cover a little bit of criticisms.
I mean, the only thing I can think of, it's just so well acted and written. Like, maybe there are Venkman scenes where he's a little too rapey to give my woke complaints. But, like, I think mostly he's okay.
Well, rape didn't exist in the 80s, so... You know, it's okay. You got this confident male protagonist. Of course, you know.
Yeah,
just trying to get the girl.
He's just getting what he wants, you know.
Just trying to get the girl. That's all.
Trying to get the girl, but some of the special effects were like hokey, especially like the demon dog forms.
Okay, that was the follow-up question, just in case you didn't cover that.
Yeah.
The demon dogs, you can
They look like the
immediately
Gremlins.
tell. You're just like,
They looked like the Gremlins.
oh boy. You can tell, like, added in post, not much production quality.
Yeah.
But you also have to factor in it was in the 80s. So, like...
That's true. I even like it. Like, I even think it adds charm. So,
It does
like,
add charm, yeah. But any other... I don't have any criticisms. I hold this movie up in, like, the very high regards because of the cultural
I guess it's just,
impact.
like... The only thing is, like, for a movie to be a 10 out of 10, I have to be, like, emotionally invested in the plot, and I don't think this does that for me.
Do you think if we watched it earlier, you'd be a little bit more invested in the plot?
Maybe? No. But, like, even that, I'm invested in the plot enough. Like, I don't want to spoil my rating, because we do it at the end, but it's not a 10 out of 10, because it's just, I'm not as emotionally invested in it as some other movies. That, like, for a movie to be a 10 out of 10, I gotta be, like, everything the characters feel, I feel. Like, it's gotta be
the Sonic movie?
Of course. I don't think I gave that. Actually, I don't think we reviewed that on the show. Me and Mo were supposed to double feature 1 and 2, but I don't think we've done that
You're
yet.
like the Sonic guy.
I know.
In our group.
I want to review Knuckles too, but the only person who will do it with me is Crow Royalty, and I don't want to do a Crow Royalty.
How many episodes are there?
Like 8, I think.
Oh, please tell me it's gonna pull up on the right monitor. Is it this monitor?
Alex is doing monitor stuff.
I'm doing monitor stuff. Keep talking about Ghostbusters. You're the one who hasn't seen it.
I'm trying to think of more things.
Do you have any... Like, I've been asking all the questions.
Well, I guess was rewatching it enjoyable for you? Were you really
Rewatching it is
out,
always
or?
enjoyable. We could watch it again right now, and I'd still be this same amount invested in it.
It almost seemed like you were kind of checked out at times, though. That's
the ADHD. I can't sit and focus on a movie unless I'm in a theater where taking my phone out is inappropriate.
Because like when I'm doing rewatches,
I realize I was playing Dokkan Battle.
I
Almost
do.
The entire
Yes, you
movie.
were playing Dokkan Battle.
It's because
during
I've
the
seen it
movie.
already. But I am still. If anybody ever says I want to watch the Ghostbusters, I'll be like, the fuck yeah, I love Ghostbusters. I will rewatch it all the time.
Yeah, the thing, I guess it can be fun to just do in the background. For me, I really only rewatch movies like if I'm really invested in them, and those are the movies that I'll like sit my light ass down and listen for because they're just either really funny or really good. Like, I think the movies I've rewatched. Oh, it's only 6 episodes.
Yeah, it's only 6.
The movies I've rewatched are like I rewatch Juno sometimes, which I really like, and I always pay attention to that. Spider-Man: Homecoming, I've rewatched a bunch.
I think I've only rewatched it a couple times. I don't like rewatching Marvel movies by themselves. I have to be in the mood.
You have to watch the whole series.
I gotta rewatch Marvel. Hold on.
The Drake and Josh movies I've rewatched. What else?
Where's M?
Scott Pilgrim I've rewatched.
I rewatched them in chronological order.
That's so fucked.
I have an entire document that says exactly.
Maybe someday I'm gonna have to do the in order thing.
It's good. It's chronological order, not when they were released.
I almost feel like I'd prefer it when they were released though, because like it's the same thing as like if you did Kingdom Hearts in chronological order. Like sure, Birth by Sleep is chronologically the first, but there's kind of things in Birth by Sleep that are made a lot better with context that is provided in games that came out before but are chronologically after. Like they're kind of designed to be played as they come out, and I think the same can be said of the MCU.
Yeah, there's plenty of ways to watch the MCU, especially since now that they introduced multiverse theory, it gets real wacky with...
Yeah, now like every Marvel movie that's ever come out is in the MCU, even if it was not initially. So now technically the first movie in the MCU is Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's a little weird because now you have to technically include... So if you're watching from the 1940s when Captain America gets the super serum and becomes Captain America. If you're watching from there and then going through the actual years, like an actual timeline, at some point you're going to have to break off that timeline, go watch Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, come back, continue through, and then get to not Far From Home.
We were
No Way
supposed to
Home.
do way back when I was doing rad movie reviews, my old movie review podcast with my IRL friends from work, which we didn't record in the same room because we had no fucking idea how to do that, so we just did it over Discord. But we would see the movies together sometimes when we talked about movies in theaters, and we did the Home trilogy. It was actually a fun like mix-up episode because instead of reviewing one movie, we reviewed 4, and they weren't even necessarily we reviewed 3 because the 4th one hadn't come out yet. But they weren't connect. We reviewed It Follows because that was the initial plan. But then Spider-Man Not Far From Home, the last one, No Way Home, was coming out. And
Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home.
Yeah, so... But No Way Home hadn't been out yet, but it was about to come out. We were like, we want to cover No Way Home when it comes out. So we're just going to do, with the It Follows episode, we're just going to do Spider-Man Homecoming and Far From Home as well. So that was a fun mix-up. And then we did No Way Home, and that ended up being the last rad episode we ever did, which was a good way to wrap it, because that movie was definitely special. And it made Alexis cry, which was funny, because before she came into the project, she didn't care about superhero movies. And we made her cry with Spider-Man fucking No Way Home.
Do you have anything else you want to talk about regarding Ghostbusters?
Is it time for wrap-up questions? I realize I forgot to explain those.
We're 40 in, 45.
Yeah, so we can do wrap-up questions. So
I'm not trying to rush you if you have more. But.
At the end of every one, we do wrap-up questions where we discuss our favorite character, our favorite scene, and rate the film out of 10.
Okay.
So, who was your favorite character in Ghostbusters?
I want to say my favorite character was Ray.
That's fair. I think I'm going to give mine to Venkman. Bill Murray gave a pretty good performance in this movie.
Solid one.
Favorite scene?
Favorite scene would have to be...
I think it might be You see,
I
this
got
is
it.
this is
Hold on.
purely silly reasons, but I think my favorite scene might be Ghost Job, because I cheered Ghost Job fucking immediately when it happened, when Dan Aykroyd gets blown by a ghost.
Oh, in the dream.
Yeah.
I want to say I think my favorite scene
Ghost Job,
is
Ghost Job, Ghost Job, Ghost Job.
I think my favorite scene would have to be the one where where Egon finds the keymaster, the one apartment guy,
Yeah.
and they're back at the Ghostbusters HQ, and they're like questioning him and everything, and he's acting like he's never been in this world before.
That's good.
It's very subtle, but if you focus on just him that entire scene, it's really, really, it's not, I don't want to say interesting, but it's funny.
I want to give a shout out to Winston. Honestly, I'm kind of tempted to give Winston favorite character because like he didn't talk much, but when he did, he had such impactful moments.
When somebody asks you if you are a god, you
say
yes.
That was great. And then there was I don't remember who they were talking to, maybe like the DA or like the chief of police or something. He makes that like impassioned case about what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it was really good. So
He's just a black guy looking for money.
I kind of want to give it to Winston actually, because like he's the strong silent type, and like every time he does talk, it like is an earth shatter. So he has like the highest hit rate, I think, because he stays quiet when he has nothing of value to add. So
Well, he wasn't allowed to add anything.
that's true because of Bill Murray, but maybe the actor just wasn't good comedically. So Bill Murray was like, "Listen, enough with the jokes," and they cut all his jokes.
Nah, I think they cut everything on purpose because it was the 80s.
I guess so, but I think it was comedy that they cut. I think everybody else was being funny, so he tried to be funny, and Bill Murray was like, "No, this is not how this works." And then the only scenes that were left were the scenes where he's being like strong and like dramatic. And I think
Part of America.
Yes, and I think it's Winston. Honestly, now that I think about it, Venkman was great, but all three Ghostbusters Prime were great. Winston was just this special extra character who I think really just wrapped the whole thing together. So I'm gonna give it to Winston.
So rating is retroactively.
Next, right? Yes, I did
So,
the scene. So yeah.
I think my rating. I obviously there's a lot of nostalgia.
And by the way, I don't know if this will factor. But the only decimal you're allowed to use is 0.5. No weird decimals. You gotta say a 0.5 or a whole number.
What's the scale?
Out of 10.
Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. I'm not gonna do like a 7.1.
Yeah.
Have people done that before?
People have tried to do like a 0.25, and it's like, no, you do 0.5 or you round up, or you round down.
Scale 1 to 10. How do you look at 7 and 8 and go, well, it's not really a 7, but it's not really an 8 either.
Well, you can kind of say that. That's why the 0.5's there.
I'd give it a solid 8 for a completely original idea.
I was gonna say 8.5 or 9, probably 8.5. Like, solid, fun movie. Had a good time, very creative. Not the deepest heart, but it had enough heart, and it was.
Are we losing point in your opinion? Are you taking points away because of the amount of setup we had to do so you could watch the fucking movie?
No. Okay. I don't count that sort of shit.
Okay, just making sure because it did take us about 30 minutes to figure out how to watch.
There have been movies where it was like stupidly complicated for me to watch them, and I don't factor that into the score.
Now we have a good setup because I can just turn the TV toward you. And I'll just lay in the bed.
Oh, there you go, yeah.
So
when we watch Ginger Dead Man versus Evil Bong...
possibly. We'll see.
Why don't you want to do that?
Because I don't want to date the episode and be like... Well, not date, but like I don't want to say exactly what we're doing on podcasts and then if we don't do it...
Then we'll just do it. Just don't blow it off like a fucking retard.
Like Ballfrog is still in my
like how Ballfrog
videos.
is still in your fucking... I'm not gonna let you hang on to my fucking podcast for months, you fucking bitch. I expect those on my desk the moment I get home.
Well, I have to upload one at a time.
I expect this one on my desk.
You'll
when
get
I get
them
home.
over the course of a week.
Okay. Well, Issue Crew...
Unless you upload them
Issue Crew has to
here.
come out on Saturday. The other two can come out whenever. It doesn't matter.
Issue Crew.
We're going to do a regular Issue Crew.
Yeah, on Monday.
Yeah, that one has to come out on Saturday. So I have to have that in time for that.
Yeah, so I just start
The other
uploading it
ones-
immediately after.
The movie reviews can come whenever.
Yeah, I just start uploading it to Google Drive immediately, and then I'll just send you the link over Discord.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. All right. I don't know how you wrap this shit up.
So that's it. I mean, we just do an outro, do our plugs. Where can I find you, Alex? You're a guest on this here program.
If you want to find Riely and me, you can check us out at Detour Ahead. This way. Detour Ahead. Patreon.com/Detour Ahead. DETOURAHEAD. We also do the Dickheads podcast, which is a fan podcast talking about all the podcasts Dick Masterson does. And then you can follow me on Twitter at Colochu54.
All right. And you can find me, of course, at linktr.ee/Riely Cinematic Universe. That's RIELY. Cinematic Universe for all your Riely podcasts and YouTube channels and all sorts of silly shit that you can check out that you're going to be seeing a lot of Alex on this particular week. And with that, we'll see you next time, folks.
Bye.